Hello. So this is me at my fawny, at my outdoor altar. Here she is. She's a little crusty. And ooh, and then here is another outdoor altar that I made recently for Cersei. It's called Cersei's Island. Because Cersei has her own island. She's that bad. And yeah, here's the, let me, before I start smoking. Here's the vine that I'm referring to. I want to use it for our earthworking today, our heartworking today. And I'm not sure if I should use Cersei's Island, like I have been for the spiral, or I should make a completely new one for this craft. So we'll see. But let's get smoking. Oh yeah. I guess I could talk a little bit about my outdoor altars here. I got this fawn skull at a retreat in Virginia on the summer solstice. And it was not at the retreat, but it was during my trip. After I went to the retreat to go to the hotel room, in which my partner alerted me that where he parked, there was just a random deer skull. And by that time, I've been working with the energy of the deer spirit as a animal ally of mine for like over a year at that point. So, and I thought it was the deity Artemis, and although it could have something to do with that, I think it's more so of an animal ally of mine. And yeah, when I set this deer skull up at my partner's parents' house, I had set it up inside, but his mother said something about the energy when I brought it into the house. Like it was like an offering from a little girl. And I'm thinking now that that little girl was my younger self, and it has something to do with time magic. I've been working a lot with that recently, and I feel like earthworking it's time magic, because one of the main concepts of this art form is after you make the piece, you take a photo of it, and photos are documentations of time. So as I've been working more with photography and videography, I have been working more with time magic. And here she is, the Fawny in all their glory. And then Cersei's Island here, the new addition to the fam. Oh, because she's so bonita. So yeah, let's go on a walk. Yeah, the battery died, y'all. The battery died. Okay. So I said I wanted to make a trinity with the vine here. So attached to Miss Jezebel, I named her. I always find a tree and I always name them. Yeah, I might get into the story about why I do these things, but in a later date, because it's too traumatizing right now to unpack with y'all. We're gonna make this a feel-good video. So enjoy me walking about. I can't help myself. I'm just a silly gal. And sometimes I must pluck. I must pluck. I must grab. And I must pluck. And sometimes you find like an abundance of those things. So I'm gonna put them in my pocket for right now. I'm totally breaking the rules. And yeah, I want to leave some for the bees and such. So I took all that, and now the wind is kind of calming down. So I'm going to try to find some rocks. I'm gonna try to find some rocks. And some sticks. Sticks. Okay. And yeah, I want to get like these acorn tops. Or acorns in general. Get nutty, my guy. And yeah, these are like bamboo chunks. So I'm gonna get that. My hand's getting full, so I'm gonna have to place them down now. And what I love about doing earthworks is just reconnecting with the land, feeling the wind, listening to the birds, the little songbirds. Alright. Let's see if we can find some rocks. Here's I guess a fun story about John Rosa. When I was a child, I used to play this game where I'd literally pretend to be a rock. Like, I would get on the floor, make myself into like a little ball, and just pretend to be a rock. And that's like those little core memories of mine is kind of what helps me remember that I've always been an animist. I've always been holding the belief that that all life has life, like all things have spirit, even things without heartbeats, such as rocks. They have a spirit, And so I'm working with the spirit of these rocks. And I'm amplifying their energy. Oh, and Lilith's hooting and hollering. She's so happy. Period. Alright. Now we will be working on the ground. So what I like to do is wait for that plane to go by and take a sip of water. Okay. So he said that we should take note of any birds or things that called out on us in our walk. So I heard Mama Lilith, which is my mother deity goddess of mine, and she comes to me in the form of owls. So she's very present right now, and you can hear her. Oh, trying to figure out how to get situated here. So we get in between Cersei and Fani, and we're gonna create a whole new art space here. So just gonna move my materials. And what did I find? I found some flowers. I plucked them. I know he said don't. I know he said don't pluck them, but I can't help myself. And then I got some nuts and some nut caps. Yep. And then I got some rocks. And I told you that funny little Dawn story where I like to pretend to be rocks, because rocks have life too. And I might involve some of Cersei's seashells I got laying out here already. I might move some over to this new piece. I'm sure she wouldn't mind. And Cersei's another goddess that I work with. And to be honest, me and Cersei, like, I know she's on my spirit team, and she's known me a lot longer than I've known her, but my work with her is just getting started, and I just, like, feel like she's always been with me, even when I didn't remember. So she is definitely a nature-based deity, dealing with all things plants and sorcery and magic. And as a little kid whose just dream was to be a witch, like, come on, that's me, Cersei, me. I got this heart-shaped frog, and I just like to invoke that to do some heart-centered work. So I'm gonna use this vine, and I'm just trying to form a spiral with it. I know it said start from the middle and go outward, but I'm doing the opposite. You see how I can't even listen to the book? It's okay. Make your own rules. Make your own rules. So I'm just going to press down. And just gradually make a circular movement. And I want to tighten it ever so slightly the more and more I go to make that spiral look. Now I am switching it up as I go. I'm just seeing what works and what doesn't. I'm just fiddling around. Sometimes when I press it down, I'm not putting it on the right angle, and so the vine lifts up. So I'm just seeing what works and what doesn't, and what rocks have the most weight to them. Maybe I need to stack multiples. Yeah, I like that multiple look. Like a mountain type of thing. Alright. I got this big nut here. I'm just gonna put that here. And now I'm getting into the inward swirl part, which is a favorite. And yeah, I just want to make sure that, you know when bitches be like, oh yeah, their waist is snatched. I don't care much for that. I care if my swirl's point is looking snatched, okay? Am I using that terminology right? I don't know. But what I mean is, I want this to be a sharp point. I want it to look pleasant to my eye, and if it's not, I'm gonna lose my marbles. But also, have fun. Just have fun. Like, because these are all living, especially this vine right here that's still attached to this tree. It's most definitely living. So just be gentle with it, because it has a will of its own, how it wants to flow. Okay, and now I'm just gonna remove some gooky gook. And yeah, it's looking like a spiral now. Let me show you what I'm starting off with. So that's what I'm starting off with. And then I have all this material left to work with, and I might go collect some more rocks and such, or swap them out with some seashells from Cersei's Island, so we'll see. Okay. And practically, I just want to outline the vine with some sticks to make my point across. And actually, I want to make this swirl a little more fatter. I want it to have some more dimension to it. What I was saying is basically I'm filling the outline of the swirl, and I want to make it look more fatter also. I want to make the swirl pattern look fat and chunky. And so yeah, you just fill that chock full on the outside. You make the swirl pattern swirl out. Swirl out, man. And I'm just making it layered so you can see it from a distance, the pattern I'm going from. And I'm taking some bamboo chunks from Cersei's Island, and I'm also adding it here to add with some green and browns. And I just like to make mine look full and collective. Now these bamboo sticks, I'm gonna add them as like a lifeline down here, because honestly they're like too big to be as part of the swirl. So I'm gonna do it to part where the vine's coming down from. And these yellow crystal things, I keep finding them on walks with me and my partner. We go on walk dates and yeah. Do I have oh yeah, the other ones are already on here. Sweet. And so with the yellow crystals, I'm gonna add the yellow flowers for some happiness. So yeah, they said take note of any animals that catch your attention, and so I'm hearing some pretty birds. I'm not sure what kind they are, but they're everywhere, and I'm hearing some owls hooting. So my mama Lilith's nearby, present. I would like to get better at my birding. I consider myself a birder, but at the same time, I don't know none of the species. I can't detect no bird calls. Honestly, how do I call myself a bird fan? I don't know. I need to get better at it. And I would like to get better at my animal identifications in general. Alright, and now I'm going to add some nuts to get nutty. Nutshells and the nut caps. Those little guys. And yeah, I'm gonna add some more sticks to outline the green to make my swirl nice and thick with multiple cues. And I want to add this swirl shell at the end. Maybe put the vine inside the shell. Yes, genius. And now it's definitely got its point across that it is what it is. Okay, gone if. And yeah, I guess I'll add some more nuts at the end. Make the swirl a little more layered, like give it some more dimension. This part, I kind of want to add it more intentional than the other pieces because it's kind of rigid at the end, and I want to use that as like a curvature point. I think it fits perfectly as a transitional branch for the swirl. So I think I'm gonna put it here where It goes from straight to curvy. I think that fits perfectly there, actually. And then I'm gonna add some leaves because there's already like some naturally occurring greenery, so I'm just gonna stick down some leaves that I can find around me. Bamboo leaf. And yeah, I still got a shit ton of sticks, so I need to use them. They're begging to be toyed with. And this is just a way that I play. A way that I play outside. A way to play nature. A way to connect with nature spirits. With plant, animal, or elemental allies. It's just, if you're a witch, why aren't you doing this? And if you're not a witch, like, it's a good way to remember that being human doesn't have to be so serious. You know, who said playing outside was just for kids? And I feel like earthworking gives adults, like, kids can do it also, but I feel like adults who earthwork, it gives you access to that inner childhood joy and spirit that is so depleted in like everyday life. So yeah, play outside, and when they say touch grass, do more than that. Touch the twigs, pick some flowers. If there's a rock calling to you, pick it up and put it in your pocket. And yeah, here's what I'm doing. And here's the more I got to work with. I'm not actually just going to dismantle the island. I'm going to convert it here. So, you'll see me do that. It begins. We're going to completely dismantle Cersei's island and convert it to the swirl vine. So this is actually a kind of a different idea than where I thought it was going. You kind of can't see the vine anymore within all the twigs. And I want to fill in this empty space with the shells, I feel like. In that case. Let me add the little ones at the front. The frontiers. So it's gonna be actually a double spiral now. What? Okay. Now we're cooking. Wait a minute. What if I add this one after right here? Somehow on its side. Yes. Yeah, I switched my mind. And you're allowed to do that. Ah! Now, if the wind knocks you over this time, I got you. This is exactly what happened. Okay, perfect. And now, I have the sand at Cersei's Island. I'm just going to grab at it and spread it all around in a spiral. So this earthwork is made with sticks, some flowers, like buttercup flowers, and some rocks, shells, sand, nuts. And I'm gonna dust off some. Oh, and vine. It's made out of vine. Yes.